Hello governors and welcome to a different video today. Instead of unboxing, I'm going to be making a tier list. So, with the release of Spider-Man No Way Home around a month ago, they brought in many villains and I thought, why not rank every single villain that has appeared in a Spider-Man movie? However, it has to be a villain that has had a prominent role, so I'm not including characters like Scorpion or Rhino since they were only in short periods of time in both movies they appeared in. And just to be clear, there will be spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you haven't watched the movie, click out of this video, watch it in your own time, and you can come back if you want. I'm not forcing you. Anyway, let us begin with Vulture. Now, personally, I think Vulture's a great villain. He has his motives. Can be a sinister character, and he's shown to be able to best Spider-Man from time to time. However, this is the first villain that Spider-Man faces by himself in the Tom Holland series, and while he is quite a formidable foe, he's not particularly that threatening. He's literally just a man with a suit. I mean, you can say that about Iron Man, but he's not as advanced as Iron Man. He mainly stole the tech from some Iron Man stuff, and he doesn't have that much knowledge on it, so I'm just going to put him at B tier. Very good villain, but not all the way at the top. Next is Dr. Octopus. I'll be real here. He is my favorite villain of all time. I personally love Alfred Molina's acting in that. He did a very good portrayal as him. And one of my personal favorites, thing about Dr. Octopus is his relationship with Peter Parker. He actually is a role model in a sense for Peter, and he actually shows that he genuinely cares for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, especially in No Way Home. After reuniting with him, he's like, Peter, duh, Ark. Like, they actually show kind of like a fatherly son relationship, which if he could be a replacement for Uncle Ben, he'd make a great replacement. That's why he goes to S tier. He's one of the best villains, my personal favorite. He can't be beaten that easily. Next is Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man. I do not like this version. I personally like Electro because I've read the comics, but this version is just terrible, and the blue look kind of makes him look like some sort of weird, cartoon character, if I'm gonna be honest. And I know a lot of people said they hated the teeth change, but I think the teeth change was actually good. And also, not only that, but his character portrayal was made poorly. He goes from being a huge fan to Spider-Man to trying to kill him because he thought Spider-Man was trying to attack him, but it wasn't his fault. It was the police's fault. So, if anyone's to blame, it's the NYPD in that movie. Other than that, he will go to a D tier. Not a big fan. Actually, maybe I'll up him to C because you'll find out later. Next is Green Goblin. No questions asked. S tier. Willem Dafoe, amazing actor. Portrayal, amazing. Green Goblin, amazing. What's not to love about Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin? I mean, he's super iconic, and he's probably got the most iconic lines out of everyone. I'm something of a scientist myself. Apologies if that was a butcher. Anyway, there's no explanation for Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. He'll always be one of the best villains. I would probably also put him over Doc Ock, but I love Doc Ock as well, so they're basically equal. Next is Electro from No Way Home. Now, this version is way better, in my opinion. They actually give him a redemption arc with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. He looks a lot better. His powers are a lot better, and he has more accuracy to the comics. When he activates his electricity, he has this mask around his face, which looks almost like the original. So, a good nod to that, and a good redemption to Jamie Foxx. Redemption for Jamie Foxx Electro, everyone. He goes into A tier. Lizard. I'll be honest with you, Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. So when I first watched this movie, I was like, It's not Tobey Maguire, but I'll give him a chance. Not only was it accurate, but I love the portrayal of Lizard. Lizard was a really good villain, in my opinion, and like the way they like made him out to be, it worked perfectly. Almost perfect, I'll say almost. There are a few like differences, like the fact that he's for some reason English in the movie. I don't know why, but I mean I don't hate it. That's why he goes into A tier. I think he's above Electro though because I still love Lizard. Harry Osborn, or Green Goblin Jr., as Bully Maguire says. He probably would have been a better villain, but honestly, he's not that great. I'm sure there are plenty of people that love Harry Osborn, but like I don't like this type of villain. Like he had a very short period of time of being a villain, and he was just filled with revenge and huge misunderstandings. And I would have let it slide if it wasn't for the butler. The butler literally told him how his father died after like so many years, I think. I don't know how long it takes between Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 3. Don't quote me on that. But it literally took him that long to tell Harry how he died, and it wasn't Spider-Man's fault. So all the villainous things was for nothing. You get what I'm saying? That's why he would be a C tier. He's not a bad villain, but he's not that good either. Next is Sandman. Now, Sandman, like most Spider-Man Sam Raimi villains, sorry about that, that was my phone. Like most Spider-Man villains in the Sam Raimi universe, they're not necessarily bad people. It's just something they do has led them to be kind of bad. Doc Ock being controlled by the inhibitor chip, Willem Dafoe having an existential crisis and another like personality in him. Same thing. And same with Sandman. He's not necessarily a bad person. Yes, he killed Uncle Ben, and yes, he's been a criminal for most of his life, but he's not doing it because it's good for him. He's trying to do it because he just wants the best for his daughter, which kind of noble, but not the best direction. Anyway, I personally like this character. He's like the fact that he's like gets forgiven by Peter at the end of the movie. It was great, and I like the portrayal. Just the only thing I could like give a little like say jab at him is that his portrayal in No Way Home was kind of strange. Like I don't know why he suddenly turned on the Spider-Man. Kind of weird, but like still great character. I'll put him on a. It's between A and B. He's better than Vulture, but he's. I'm gonna put him A because I think he's better than Electro. Mysterio. Mysterio. Great performance. He actually was portrayed the most like accurate when it comes to the villains in the Holland universe or Homecoming universe trilogy actually. But like he did a very good job, and because Mysterio's whole like thing is trying to perceive people with illusions and mind tricks, he not only did that, but he also tricked people as well with his like statements. Very manipulative person. I think he's a great villain. He goes into A tier. In fact, I'm going to move Electro to B tier here because I realize he's not as great as these three. Honestly, both of these are literally in the same tier. Like Venom from Spider-Man 3 and Harry Osborn for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Like, Venom is, like, not portrayed like how Venom normally... Like, sure, he can go crazy, but not that crazy to the point where, like, he's trying to, like, murder everyone and trying to ruin, like, Spider-Man, which, yes, that's in the comics. I will admit that. But the way he's portrayed, not very good, and I personally don't like Topher Grace as Venom. It didn't really make sense. And, like... And also, like, the way they made him lose his job was a bit different. Like, he didn't actually... In the actual, like, comics, he didn't actually, like, fake an article. He just thought he caught the right person, but he didn't, and Spider-Man actually caught the right person. Eddie caught the wrong person, and it made him lose his job. And there were some other things that happened to him, but let's not get into that. And also, he kind of, like, acts kind of weirdly. Yes, he has an obsession to Spider-Man, but, like, still, it's Not a very good performance. And do I need to say anything about Harry Osborn in The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Terrible villain, acts crazy, and I'll be honest, he looks like a person who's spent too many times on the puff. Yeah, it. He just looks terrible, and like the way he acts is just like you kind of not want to. Like, if you knew a person like that in real life, you probably would never want to speak to them ever again. Like, I cannot say many good things about this version of Harry. Like, if like I don't even know if there's anyone who actually likes this character. If there is, you can tell me, and I won't judge you for it. But personally, I think he's the worst ever movie villain in all of the Spider-Man movies. No contest. Anyway, so that's my list. Let me know what you guys think, and like if there's any opinions that you have over others, let me know. You can write down in the comments. Just try not to make an argument, and it'll be fine. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.